by the way, do you have any special skills?
Oh, yes. I do. I do voices.
What do you mean, you do voices?
Well, I do voices.
Yes! We've come to this planet looking for intelligent life. Oops, we made a mistake.
We're happy to be in America. Don't ask for a green card.
I want you in the worst way.
Well, it's certainly a rough meeting, and it's not going very well for me, I'll tell you that. Hey, boss, give it a chance. She's going to loosen up any moment. Look at me right now, Moneypenny. I want to undo that bow and get to know you.
I'm crazy to make a deal with you.
Nancy and I are still looking for the other half of my head.
Idiot! You're doing it. I'm sitting on a gold mine.
Don't make me smack you, sweetheart. I'll do it.
Figaro.
I do a great impression of a hot dog.
Mr. Hillard, do you consider yourself humorous?
I used to. There was a time when I found myself funny. But today, you have proven me wrong. Thank you.
Hello!
Well, here we are. The first real comedy in this list. But again, it won't be the last. What to say about the classic Mrs. Doubtfire? Well, it was released the year I was born, in 1993, and I can't say that I'm upset to be associated with that year in film. But besides what to say about this film, what else can be said of the late, great Robin Williams that hasn't already been said? We miss him, and rightly so. While it is undeniable that Robin Williams had many moving performances, I wager that his role in Mrs. Doubtfire is his best performance in any film. Yes, that's high praise, but it is my favorite performance of his simply because it is a perfect blend of the dramatic and the comedic. And yes, he's had other films like that, but to me, one of those usually dominates over the other. Here, Mrs. Doubtfire, as aforementioned, is certainly a comedy, but it also contains many dramatic moments, not to mention its sobering subject matter of divorce. Despite this heavy undertone, Mrs. Doubtfire has hysterically funny moments and continues to give me some of the biggest laughs in any film that I have seen to this day. From his meeting at the unemployment office, to his cleaning along to Aerosmith, Dude Looks Like a Lady, to trying to hide from Mrs. Sellner in her weekly visits, to even his small interactions with the old bus driver, there are laughs and smiles aplenty here. Even though I have seen the film dozens of times, I still get nervous every time Daniel has to pretend to be Mrs. Doubtfire and simultaneously have a meeting with Mr. Lundy at Bridges' restaurant. I obviously know what's going to happen, what the outcome will be, but I still hope every single time that he won't get caught, or that he won't slip up. Sally Field as Miranda really shines here as the struggling mother and divorcee, and arguably one of her best roles as well, bringing us something truly thoughtful and heartfelt. Pierce Brosnan is great as Miranda's old beau, Stu, and some of the funniest moments in the movie come from Daniel as Mrs. Doubtfire, out to make Stu a buffoon. Howard Shore's musical score provides delightful and upbeat themes, along with an emotional piano undercurrent from time to time. Mrs. Doubtfire is one of those movies that I grew up with and watched with my family, starting in my early teen years. And it's one of those safe family movies, you know? I'll bring this up again because there are several movies like that on this list. Sure, there's some profanity, and there are difficult scenes to witness, but I mean safe in the sense that everyone can enjoy sitting together and watch this heartwarming film. I always love the beginning titles as Daniel is singing Rossini's Figaro in a voiceover recording for a cartoon. And despite the film's bittersweet ending, you still manage to feel good at the conclusion of the movie. At least I do. I think it taught me, and continues to teach, that not just divorce, but sometimes there are difficult, very difficult moments in life that we all go through, but eventually, you do get through them. We have to. As Mrs. Doubtfire says,
"You're going to be all right."
As I said, Robin Williams really stands out in this movie, especially for me. He gives us belly-aching and laugh-out-loud laughs, but the next moment will make us wipe away slight tears. His rejected speech from the judge in court at the end of this film about needing his children, needing to spend time with them. That's an Oscar-winning actor if I've ever seen one. Robin Williams gave us a funny, touching, and genuine portrayal of both of his characters, and to me, it always feels like it came right from his heart. I miss you, Robin. I have enjoyed traveling to San Francisco, California, on several occasions for our family vacations, and whenever I go there, at least once, I think of this movie, since it was largely filmed and takes place there. My family and I have found the 2640 Steiner Street house, as well as eaten lunch a couple of times at the delicious Bridges restaurant featured in the last act of the film. Although in actuality, it is located to the east of San Francisco in the city of Danville. Mrs. Doubtfire is one of my favorite comedies of all time, and I can't imagine a year going by without watching it at least once to keep my heart satisfied. Because of that and more, it certainly earns a place in my 100 favorite movies. As much of a fan as I am of this film, I don't think anyone is as big of a fan of Mrs. Doubtfire than my next guest and very good friend from It's Kid Pomona. I thought he might like to share some of his thoughts in this video on one of his favorite movies. Please stay tuned.
Oh, okay. I'm sure Landon just finished up something super eloquent and beautiful and just totally hit the hammer on the nail, but hey, I'm gonna try my own, I'm gonna try my own review of this, and, we'll see how it goes. I absolutely love this movie. It is one of my top 10, you know what? Top 5. Top 3? Not quite. Top 5 favorite films of all time. Some of my earliest memories are that of digging through my grandmother's home entertainment center, I guess you could say, and digging through her collection of movies. Either my grandma or my step-grandfather belonged to some sort of movie club. That I don't know. I guess I could ask her. Grandma, are you up? Are you up? Right, Grandma, are you up? Somehow she was always in possession of a wide variety of movies. Anywhere from family-friendly movies like Free Willy, all the way to, you know, horror classics such as Evil Dead, and even like random slasher films. I remember that's where I first saw Grizzly and some weird Bigfoot movie. But anyways, one day I was rifling through and I pulled out this movie, and I should note that I was really young. I was 19. It was whatever age I was when this movie came out, which would be, let's see, enthralling. 1993 says right there, I would have been 5 years old. Adding in, you know, the movie coming to VHS, I would say I was anywhere from 6 to 7 years old when I first discovered this movie. Yeah, the math seems to make sense. I don't know how I got this. Pop that sucker in, and I must admit, seeing this man-child singing was kind of already putting me, you know, a little trepidatious. I was just like, but I said, let's venture forward. And as soon as they threw a cartoon up on the screen, I was just like, okay, alright, you know what, we're gonna give this one another 10 minutes or so. Suffice to say, I didn't just last 10 minutes, I lasted the entire running time of that bad boy, because by the time it was over, it was already an instant classic for me. You know, 7 years old, and already this was my Citizen Kane. You'd ask me what Citizen Kane is, and I'd say I don't know, but this was my Citizen Kane. I feel like this has already gone on for too long. Sorry, Landon. Sorry, Landon's viewers. Robin Williams as Daniel is such an insanely likable and wonderful character that I still wonder to this day who would win a super nice guy contest, him or Mr. Rogers. It would be like the fight of the century. Grandma, who would win a super niceness contest? Robin Williams as Daniel and Mrs. Doubtfire or Mr. Rogers? Grandma? Oh, I never dialed the number. Oh. It's very clear that this is Robin Williams' movie and nothing even comes close to his performance. Or maybe not. Because we also have the wonderful and beautiful Sally Fields, who absolutely hits it out of the ballpark in this one. Her portrayal of Miranda is so, and I'm going to use this word a lot for a lot of these characters, but it just feels so real. You know what? I'm just going to button it there. It's just all these characters feel so real. This very much feels like a movie that could actually happen. You know? You have Bill Cosby over here being a ghost dad, and, you know, meanwhile you have Who was the actor that played the snowman in Jack Frost? I don't... I'd call Grandma, but... Me hard put in words, but clear me like movie. Maybe me should have written script before starting video. But above all, the movie has a lot of heart, and I think that's really what's gonna keep it a timeless classic for years to come. This is a great movie, and I think you should watch it. I really do.
Can I go to sleep now, mijo?
Yeah, Grandma, you wait for me to get there.